Alright, this time the quick speed shot, I'm mounting the gas tank and doing some other fiddling around in the back of the Model A hot rod shop truck. I'm a professional, don't try this at home. Alright, you can see the tank's in place. Let me click, hit the rewind button. I'll show you what I did to get this far right now. Before we get too much farther, I just want to give an update on something I had to change here. My license plate bracket, which I made in the last video. This piece of sheet metal here used to come straight up and bolted on here, these two screws, and the light socket pointed backwards. Unfortunately, I hit the gas tank, and I guess I thought I had enough clearance, but I didn't. So I go to put the gas tank in it, and the light socket hit. So I went and I made this new 90-degree 14-gauge sheet metal bracket, and I welded in a gusset, and then bent the edge of this over. So it essentially moved the light, turned the light 90 degrees, and now it clears the gas tank, and then moved the plate down maybe an inch or so. So it still looks the same as it did in the back before, but now there's room for the gas tank. Let's check it out. This is a 65-66 Mustang gas tank, and it goes right down in here. Where are we? Boom. Ow. So that sits right down here in the floor of the box, and when I put the wood floor in here, I'm going to stand it up probably on some kind of framework that'll sit here in the flat surface of the box and actually float over this. And here's the filler neck. In the Mustang, this would have had a hose and then to a piece of metal filler pipe that went out through the tail pan or in between the tail lights. So we're going to have to figure out some kind of way to put a real short fuel nozzle on this and try to keep it as low as possible. But the floor is probably going to be up about this indentation here across here, so we'll lose some action. But now I've got room. This sits down in here good. I don't see any reason why I can't bolt the gas tank down. It's brand new. I bought it from CJ Pony Parts. It's a brand new tank with a brand new sending unit, so the thing's ready to go. So this is probably ready to bolt in here. So this is going to turn out good. So now I fixed all that, I got one more thing I'm working on, just a little side project, and then it's over on the workbench. Let's go check that out. So I was in my favorite old-time junkyard. I found this on a side of an old truck in there, and it's pretty cool. Was it Mayday Body and Equipment Corporation from Buffalo and Rochester, and since this is a Rochester truck, I thought it'd be cool to incorporate this somewhere. So I've been working on a little sheet metal backer out of 16 gauge, and I'm going to drill it, and I got two little stainless steel screws. I'm going to mount this to this piece, and then I'm just going to weld a tab to the back of this, and I'm going to mount it on the back of the truck. So I cut this out with a Beverly shear. I've just been trimming it. I've got it sitting down in here pretty good, and I'm about ready to drill the holes, and I'll probably use the holes, and I'll probably put a little piece of two-sided tape just to help hold the center of this down. But I think it'll be neat to have this mounted up on a truck, just another little piece of gingerbread to go on there. You know, it's little details that make everything worth it. So I'm working on this now. So I was trying to figure out on the back of the truck where to put this. I thought about mounting it down here by the hitch in the center or something like that. I thought about on the tailgate. I don't really want to drill any more holes in the tailgate. And so I think I'm going to mount it down here on the back of the cross member. And I'm just going to have it come out and float right under the box here. And it'll kind of give a little symmetry because I got a hole over here with nothing in it. I got this side, I got the license plate down here. And so, you know, it'll just kind of balance out the back of the truck if I just mount this thing here. I'm just going to make a little sheet metal tab that's going to go in and bolt right in the bottom of the cross member. And this thing will just kind of float in space down here onto the tailgate. And I think that's going to be a pretty cool look. Right about there, about an inch off the cross member. So it'll be up and protected out of the way, but add a neat little detail to fill in some of the space and just have something else for you to look at when you're looking at the truck. And I cut a little sheet metal arm here for the back, and it's just going to stab right on the back of here, just spot weld on, and then the frame cross member is going to sit in here. I'm going to trim this upper part off, and that'll just give a little edge so the thing can't twist, and I'll probably just zip screw it right to the bottom of the frame rail. That'd be more than enough to hold this little piece on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and line this up and hit it. Just like that. There we go, just like that, bam. Now I'll just go ahead and trim this off and drill a hole in here for the sheet metal screw, and we'll install it on the truck and see how it looks. Yeah, I think that's going to look good. So what do you think about that? I think it looks pretty good under here. It's centralized between the hitch and the arm. It's centered up there, and it just kind of floats, and it adds a little bit of detail. Like I said, got the plate over here, and now we got something on this side to kind of balance out the back of the truck. And it's a neat little detail to catch your eye when you're walking by, just floating under there, under the back. So I think it was well worth it, and I'll get the bracket off and paint it up, and then put that thing on there permanently, and we can be on to something else. But it's all the little details make all the difference. Okay, you can see I got my wiring put together here. I'm using 6-pin trailer harness connectors, and I've made my own removable harness. So if I unplug this one, it unplugs the back of the box from the rest of the truck, and then this one here is for my trailer harness with my 4-pin connector, which I've just temporarily zip tied here up out of the way. But I got some clamps holding this up. I got the tail lights hooked up on both sides here with bullet connectors. And then I got a bullet connector for the license plate light. That's all ready to go. And I'm just waiting for one. I ran out of these rubber line clamps. I got to put one more on to hold this up away from the leaf spring here. And when I put the gas tank in, this will bolt up here. But all the wiring's contained in the back and all done. And I've also added on the rear end, which you can't see, I added the vent hose for that. So everything's all set on the back here, ready to go. I think the next thing I can do is I can set the gas tank in. I think for the last time, I've got clearance on my license plate light now, and everything else is mounted up here where it's got to be. So I think I'll go get the gas tank and we'll stick that in. I got to move this light. So here we go with the gas tank. Let's set her on down in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There we go. Boom. Where'd that bolt go? I lost it. Yeah, there it is. So this will bolt down here. Got seven bolts holding it down. I drilled the side holes, but I don't know if I'll actually have to bolt it all the way around or not. I don't know how many bolts you need to hold the gas tank down, but that's in there. So what I need to do with this is eventually figure out some way to put a filler neck in here. I don't want it sticking way up in the air, like super short, as short as I can get it. It'd be nice if I could put the cap right on here and just have it be right about where the floor level is. But we need to work on that. I'll probably wait and do the floor last because that's not really important. I could drive the truck with this bolted in here and all that. So I've got some things I can work on. I got the fuel hose over here, which has to come around. I'm going to mount it up to this piece of angle iron the gas tank fits on. But actually my filler neck or my inlet line points out this way. I got to bring it around and probably bend up a metal line and secure it here to hook this together. I got to think about having a vent into the filler neck somewhere because there's no vent in the tank, or have a vented cap. I haven't got that far yet, but things are just about wrapped up here. I got this vent line here with this plastic end off an axle vent. This is for the rear end vent here. I just got to get a clamp and it's going to attach over to this piece of angle liner. There's this piece of tubing here. Cross member, I got to get a clamp and screw this down, and that will be mounted. Everything else is done. The box is done. All the brake lines are done. The battery's in, ready to go. The rear end had a pinion seal leak. I fixed that a couple days ago. So basically everything in the back of the truck is done as long as I bolt this gas tank down and then figure out what to do with the filler cap. And so that's good. Looks like I might have to extend my wire for the electric for the fuel sending unit. But other than that, the back of the truck will be done except for the floor, and making some good progress there. Okay, so I got the fuel filter mounted here. I used actually a fuel filter or fuel pump or something clamp, probably a fuel filter clamp I found in my part stash, and I bent it around a little bit and it clipped the filter in here, and I used some electrical tape just to wrap it up so it wouldn't rattle, and put a couple zip ties on it. But it goes all the way around, 3/4 of the way here. It actually like snaps on there, but now it just won't rattle. I got my 3/8 line coming around over here to the fuel line on the frame rail, so I got a little bit of vibration resistance here. I'm going to hook a short piece of rubber down here, then bend up a steel line to come around here and come over, and then bend over and tie into this with a short piece of rubber hose here. Unfortunately, I don't have any 3/8 line, and not going anywhere for a couple days, so I'm not going to be able to get that. But I think I just want to leave the tank empty anyways until I get that. Last thing I want to do is fill this truck up with gas when I get to the very end, because I've been doing a lot of cutting and welding. So I think I'll eventually, when I get the line, I'll make it up, but I'll leave this loose and I'll just use a plastic jug for now to set up jug in here with a piece of hose and run the truck for the first time on just a plastic 1-gallon gas can, then put gas in the tank at the very last step when I'm all done doing cutting and grinding and all that stuff. I've got a fuel filler. This is an old school fuel filler. It's actually out of a Studebaker truck, M Series Studebaker truck, and it's the right diameter to hose clamp onto this. So I'm probably going to cut this off here, just use like the top 2 inches of it, make a super short filler cap that will sit, like this, but straight up and down under, barely above the bed floor, and then I'll have to build a little enclosure to keep this from getting smashed. But I thought about maybe bringing the filler neck over here, but I don't want a huge neck in the way. I want to be able, once I put the wooden floor in this, which is going to come up right here to these lines, just above these bolts, this will stick out of the floor about 1 inch or so, and I'll build a little metal box that's hinged that I'll open up when I want to put fuel in this. But I don't want, a big intrusion where I'm trying to haul junk in here. So I've got that. When I found that out back in the junk pile, so I put the tailgate chains on. I pinched together the links that were here. I got to tack weld those together too. But I want to get some bicycle inner tubes to cover these chains so they don't rattle and wear all the paint off the back of the box. But I got this, the tailgate's functional now. I can set it, open it, and close it and set it down. Oops. Like that, so I can get in here and work on stuff. But the back of this is all about done here. Didn't get too much progress done, but right now I gotta plan ahead, and I've only got certain parts, so I gotta plan my running to go with everything all at once and try to stay out of the mix. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm putting out new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. Hit the bell for alerts. Tell your friends, and we'll see you right back here at the Quick Speed Shop. Hopefully sooner than later, driving the Model A hot rod shop truck. Alright, this time at the Quick Speed Shop, I'm mounting up the gas tank and doing some other mixing and matching and fill. Alright, this time at the Quick Speed Shop, I'm mounting up the gas tank and doing some other plumbing and fitting up here on the back of the Model A hot rod shop truck. Spitting all over the place. Alright, this is the final product, but let's go back, hit the rewind button, and I'll show you what the steps I did. Okay, so the tank's in place now, but let's hit the rewind button, and I'll show you what I did to get it here and get all this stuff at this point. Ah, dang it! Alright, let's hit the rewind. Okay, see. Okay, you can see the tank's in place here. Let me hit the rewind button. And we'll go back in time and I'll show you how I started all this here in a second. Okay, as you can see the tank's in place. Let me hit the rewind button. We'll take a look at what we need to do to get this started out and the steps to put it in. And I'm mumbling too much. Stop mumbling! He's a mumbler! Alright, you can see the tank's in place. Let me hit the rewind button. I'll show you what I did to get this far right now.